I'm Jenny-Jaymes and my sidekick, Christian Cano, partner in crime, is coming up next.
Hey everyone, I'm Jen's sidekick. Welcome to Two Queers in a Truck. Hi y'all.
See you soon. Good morning, everybody. It is Two Queers in a Truck time. And if I sound gravelly, it's because I've been busy working hard. But it's November 27th. November is essentially over. If you're seeing this, we're right on Thanksgiving Eve. And it's kind of a sigh of relief when I say that because I'm not going to miss 2024 when it's gone. Not going to be one of those years where I'm going to go,
yeah, that's right.
I've had a good year personally, but
yeah,
not so much for the nation. We kind of shit the bed on the last election. You win some, you lose some get rained out. So anyway, it's kind of like a baseball. But we definitely got some work to do. But anyway, we're going to jump right into it. It's Christian and Jenny, and oh gosh dang it, I don't know. It's one of these things that you want to hope for the best and prepare for the worst kind of thing. But on some good note, there is a gay 19-year-old in Utah that won an election. He won an elected office. His name is Jackson Lewis, and he is an elected official for the school board.
Oh,
and he really wanted to get involved with politics, but he didn't know how, and then he decided this is the perfect way, and so it makes him the youngest elected official in Utah history at 19 years old.
Wow.
Rock on, Baby Z. They may even be Baby Alpha. I'm not sure what 19-year-olds are. One of the youngest elected officials I've ever heard of, but he's going to get on the school board in 2025 in the greater Salt Lake City area, and in Mormon land, no less. So there's a lot of. It's really surprising. He looks like a sweet young man. He looks really young. He looks like a baby.
So when was he born? He's 19.
Gosh, he was born in 2005.
2005?
I think so, Phil.
He's below Alpha, or this person.
He'd be Alpha. He'd be Generation Alpha because that's the people born in 2000s, isn't it? Because Generation Z
is 1995 to 2015. Oh no! He's a Gen Z. He's a Gen Z. Yeah. And good job though, Jen. I got my cheat sheet here, so.
I had to do mine from memory, which is not always reliable.
Yeah, that's good.
What an exciting! We've been calling for millennials and Gen Z to get involved. This is, Chris, you got Sarah McBride, that's a millennial. The out transgender woman that won a seat in Congress, which we'll talk about in the next segment. And then you got this young gay, Democrat that his reason to run, he saw the Republicans attacking public schools. He wanted to fight back, and he felt the best way to do it is to be involved. And he got elected. He got him. So there's a little picture of him in a little blue suit with a little blue tie, and he's kind of leaning on a little banister. And it's I love that fact. I love to see those next generations jump into the fight. And, for this Jackson Lewis, I really hope he it's a cool, positive story, because, we've had so much heaviness and so much negativity. It's neat to see an LGBT person that age not only organize enough to run a campaign, but actually win. And especially in a part of the United States, Utah is not known to be, let's just say, progressive. It's a very conservative state because of religion and because of the LDS Church. And for me personally, being formerly married into a Mormon or LDS family, and knowing how they are, it's not all bad. There's a lot of positivity. And surprisingly, a lot of people in the Mormon faith are very supportive of the LGBT community in certain ways. Kind of an uneasy allyship. And the Mormon Church, I know, has lightened their stance quite a bit on LGBT members, a little bit more than before, as most religions have. Even Catholicism has eased up on the queerness, which most Catholic priests were gay anyway, so it's like kind of shocking. I'm like,
yeah,
he without sin cast the first stone type thing, and but I'm very excited to see that kind of youthful participation. Not only that he's LGBT, but also that he's young and involved. He's decided, not only am I'm not going to just go door knocking, which is great, or hand out flyers, but I'm going to go ahead and run. I'm going to get up and go to work, and then won, a seat. And that's what we need to see. We need to see this from the TikTok kids. We need to see this from the cool kids, because it'll inspire Generation Z to do more. And when they see somebody that looks like them in office, just like with everything, they're going to go, oh, okay, it's okay to do this. Just like Sarah McBride's win in Delaware, that's going to inspire more and more trans women on a national level to get involved, and especially the younger ones that have the energy and the time and the gumption to win office and run for office and win, whether it's local, state, or federal. But it's good to see all levels representative, and I don't know about you, but that excites me. That gives me hope that the next generations are taking this serious, that they're taking democracy serious, and they're taking their community serious, But what an exciting time. And we are going to talk about Sarah McBride again. I didn't want to do it in this way. But there's a lot of Republicans, now that she's going to be in the House of Representatives, that are saying she shouldn't use this women's bathroom. And Mike Johnson is waiting, masturbating Mike Johnson, and has already started attacking her. And she hadn't even been sworn in yet. She didn't get sworn in until January. But he's had a lot to say about her. And it's pretty cringy. It's kind of expected. It's I guess since they won the presidency back, they really feel empowered to be a jackass. And so with Sarah McBride, it's unfortunate that they're going to go after her, because there's going to be a lot of Democrats that are going to defend her. She's a media darling. They're going to fuck around. They're going to find out on the video, in my opinion. But Mike Johnson was basically saying, I'm not going to use female pronouns. I'm going to call her sir and all kinds of other crazy stuff. And I'm like, are you 12 years old?
Yeah.
Are you so caught up? And I don't know what their obsession is with transgender people and LGBT people, but it's weird, because there's a lot of queer Republicans. Yeah, they're in the closet, but it's so weird. It's fucking creepy. In my opinion, it is so weird that we take up so much space, because normal Americans could care less. everyday people. I get out on the street, and I'm in a lot of public jobs. I'm mixing up with people every single day. I haven't run into hate in years on the street. Yeah, maybe at political protests and stuff like that. You kind of expect it when MAGAs show up, like Dirty Santa. He took exception. He actually didn't really know what to say. He actually sounded stupid and kind of funny. But all in all, most people don't care. Most people are like, okay, do you, boo? I've got my own life. It doesn't matter to me. 70% of Americans don't care. But this weirdo 15-30% of fringe, creepy, stupid people are so worried about where Sarah McBride goes to the bathroom. Petrified that this big, bad trans woman that's not big or bad, this sweet woman goes to the bathroom. Have you ever worried about where somebody goes to the bathroom?
No.
Dear God, we're well-adjusted adults. I don't give a shit. Just wash your hands when you're done. just I don't know. Is it just me, or is common sense flown completely out of the window with Republicans? Have they just fucking lost it?
So I have a question, Jenny.
They're pissed when they lose.
Yeah. I have a question, Jenny, because I've been thinking about the same thing as well. Do you think that her response to this has been very mature, very grounded, almost like Pete Buttigieg's response to the attacks on his family and him? Her response has basically been more like, we have really big issues. We should be talking about hurricane relief for Helene and fixing, this. For them to be worried about that means they're, I'm paraphrasing what she's saying, but that's really what she's saying. You know what I mean? The response from people in the party, like the Democratic Party, has been very typical responses like, she's a bully, or like Nancy Mace and them, they're a bully, they're this. Do you think that the responses, and I'm asking this as an ally, do you think that our responses fuels their we give them like fuel to their stuff instead of responding like her? We respond more like gay people. Does that, you understand what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes any sense.
So in the case of Sarah McBride, because in general, I've got a different answer.
Sure. Okay.
For non-Sarah McBride trans people and Sarah McBride. For Sarah McBride, she is a very calculated, very intelligent woman. She also is about the job. She got hired by the people of Delaware to represent her district, and she's going to go do it. And she's taking the high road, which having two future co-workers say, I'm going to ban you from a bathroom, to go to that kind of effort, Sarah's going to go, we'll see you in court. But it'll be fine. But we got more important things to do. And we're up against our first break, but we'll be right back with some more Two Queers in the Truck. Hey, everybody, you can catch us on your favorite audio podcast platform, Spotify, and all Apple Store, the Google machine, and whoever else does podcasts. We're on there. We broke in, and we're staying there. So enjoy the Two Queers in the Truck on your favorite audio podcast platform. Thanks for listening or watching. Bye-bye. I think Sarah's response is the response that a House elect, a representative elect, should respond. I don't think she necessarily needs to sometimes when a kid throws a tantrum, which is what Mace and MTG
exactly,
they're fucking idiots. Let's just say it. Sarah has to work with them, just like Jeff Jackson had to work with them and all that. And there's some things he wouldn't say because they're co-workers, they're peers. That would have been appropriate for two people like us on a bootleg show laughing about it with our listeners going, all right, this is the stupidest fucking thing. It's the difference between being a podcaster like us or Joe Rogan or something like that. Our response should be different than a member of Congress. The fact that MTG and Nancy Mace act like they're the ones not taking the job serious, and honestly, they're the ones that look like a fucking idiot. They're worried about where a coworker goes to the bathroom. In that big old Capitol building, they've got their panties in a wad about what Sarah does. She's already won. She already owns part of their headspace. Obviously, they don't have much brains up there anyway. MTG is, to call her dumb is an insult to other dumb people. She's absolute trailer trash in the worst possible way. She looks like she'd be chugging screw top wine and eating pork rinds. You know, she's got a face like a mud fence. And she's just angry that her husband wouldn't put up with her anymore and that she's a fucking moron. She is. She walks like a little man. She's probably trans herself. She just didn't want to admit it. And Nancy Mace is dumber than her. Nancy Mace says some of the dumbest fucking things I've ever heard. I don't even know how she remembers to sign her own name. Like, I don't even know if she remembers her own name when there's roll call in the house. Like, she's so dumb that you can say hi to her and stump her for an answer. She doesn't even know what to say back. You know, say hi back, Nancy. Hi, Nancy. And these two women, they're not dumb because they're women. They're just dumb. They're just dumb because there's dumb men too. Matt Gaetz, which we're going to get to him in a minute. There's been some more news about our friend Matt Gaetz down in Florida. But these people, but Sarah McBride is responding right. She's playing the long game. She goes, I'm going to be in office for the next 2 years. I got to work with these two chuckle fucks. I'm going to take the high road for now. But when I get in there, Democrats will rally around me. And at the right moment, she'll end up killing a bill that they want to do. There will be a moment where Sarah McBride, mark my words, will look across the aisle and ruin Nancy Mace's and MTG's day. She has that kind of wit and that kind of intelligence. She's like an alligator waiting for the bunny rabbit to get close to the shore and just kind of eases in. When she does, pow! And those two chuckle fucks are no match for her. In a battle of the wits, Nancy and MTG are half wits on each side. They don't even combine for a full brain. And they're not competition for her. And Masturbate Mike Johnson, I mean, they picked some dumb ones. I mean, Donald Trump, dumber than fuck. Matt Gaetz, dumber than fuck. Mike Johnson can't even, he doesn't even have enough self-control to stop masturbating himself. He has to have his son, his teenage son, and a phone app to stop masturbating. And we all know he ain't stopped. In fact, I would imagine he partakes of some sex workers up in Washington, D.C., while his wifey poo and his teenage son go, live in Louisiana, allegedly. That's the real. But he looks like the kind of guy that would sneak off and pretend he's running errands and go to a glory hole in some local truck stop. He looks like that guy. Like, get the, as it slides through the hole. He definitely, I could just see him with some knee pads on. They're just, allegedly. But what a weird, and not that doing oral sex is weird. It's weird that they're so, I've got to have an app. Who has to have an app to stop masturbating? Why? First of all, why would you stop masturbating? It's normal. It's a normal function. Sexologists and sex therapists were cautioning against sex shaming. And that's what it is. It's this religious Puritan, stupid idea that you're supposed to sex shame. The sex is wrong and dirty. Now, if you do believe in God, God installed all those nerve endings in your prostate, your clitoris, and your penis for a reason. It was divine design, as they call it. So we procreate, but it's also okay to mix it up and, spanky if you need to. Relieve, sometimes you got to clean out that gun barrel. It just sometimes is time. These people take normal functions like going to the bathroom and sex and turn it into some kind of weird. I'm going, there's 8 billion of us. Of course we're having sex. There's 8 billion humans on the planet. Of course we have sex. Bars wouldn't even be needed if we weren't having sex. What's the point of going to a bar if you're not going to get laid? A lot of us do. I mean, come on. There would be a lot of industries over if we stopped having sex, and the human race probably would disappear in a generation, or two. But it's so stupid. Normal functions like sex and people worried about. I've never, ever, ever, ever worried about somebody I don't really know going to the bathroom. I don't sit up and go, I wonder which bathroom Tom Cruise uses. Think about it for a second. It would be like me waking up one morning going, I don't really want Tom Cruise using the bathroom with me. Now he lives in a totally different part of the country, runs in different circles. It's probably worth a couple $100 million. Megastar, but I don't know. There's something about Tom Cruise. Scares the shit out of me. I don't want to be anywhere near a bathroom in him. I don't know why. I can't put my hands on it. I think it's his eyes. I think it's his eyes that make me want to not go to the bathroom with him. I feel like there'd be a problem. That's how stupid that sounds. I'm worrying about a transgender person, male or female, going to the bathroom with you. When you go in a private stall, lock the door behind you, especially in the women's bathroom. There's no urinals in the women's bathroom. I know. I've been going to them for 8 years. Almost 9. I haven't seen a urinal in a women's bathroom, if it is segregated by gender, unless it's a one-staller with a locking door. So goddamn, either Republicans need to pay for tons and tons of one-stall bathrooms with locking doors in every public space, or they need to grow up. Because this bathroom fetish they have is gone too far. It's stupid. This is the stupidest fucking debate I've ever fucking heard. And this whole fit about little trans girls playing sports. Let's get to that for just a second. I wasn't going to talk about it this morning, but I'm fired the fuck up. Several key Democrats have now come and pushed against that fucking idiot from Massachusetts and said, quite sternly, why would we worry about a problem for it? Trans girls in school sports amounts to about 30 girls nationally. Out of about 40 million school-age children, 50 million school-age children, there's about 25 to 30 trans girls, not trans boys, trans girls, because this is who they're getting twisted about, play fucking sports of some type. I'm talking about junior high, high school. Most of them don't start. 30 on the top side. out of the 7 or 8 that plays trans kids that play sports in there, only in North Carolina, out of 1.5 million students, there's only one trans girl that plays sports in North Carolina out of 1.5 million kids. Is that it's mind-boggling they've blown this out. We don't want little boys playing with little girls in sports because, soccer is such a blood sport and they'll kill. Come on. Think about what girls' sports entitles. Volleyball, soccer, softball, track. Track ain't a full contact sport. Even if trans girls that started transitioning right from the onset of puberty are pretty close, it's a proven medical fact they're not going to be any bigger or any stronger than a fucking cis girl. There's no difference. You can't, when they start that early, you can't even tell the difference. We all know it. This is, again, common sense. Biologically, you cannot tell the difference at all. But because they were born with the stem of the apple and a girl's brain, these chuckle fucks have taken it upon themselves to worry about 30 fucking kids nationally out of 40, 50 million kids of school age. Think about it. That's like 1 in a million. It's less than 1 in a million. It's more than 1 in a million. It's like 1.2 or 1.3 million. For every 1.2, 1.3 million school-age kids, there's one trans girl playing sports. If that's a threat to girls' sports, shut down the fucking sports programs. Get rid of them all. Boys, girls, fuck it. We don't need it. If 30 kids can bring down the entire system for 50 million kids, we don't need it. Obviously, it's not effective. Duh. If it's that much of a threat, which it's not, but let's go down that road. But we're up against our second break, and we'll come back with some more Two Queers in the Truck.
Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for watching us on Two Queers in a Truck. Don't forget, you can watch us anytime at your leisure on our video podcast platforms like Facebook and YouTube. But you can also listen to us, either this show or any of our past shows, on our audio podcast platforms like Apple, Amazon, Google, Spotify, and all of the other ones. So once again, thank you for watching Two Queers in a Truck. I hope you enjoy our show.
Hey, thanks for watching Two Queers in a Truck. And Christian and I just blathering on about craziness in the world today. Y'all be safe out there. There is a lot of Republicans on the road.
That's right.
Have a good week.
Bye.
But it's just as relevant as my using Tom Cruise. Mr. Cruz is no more of a threat to me. I've never met the man. I've never been in the same room with the man. But it's just as irrational for me to worry about Tom Cruise being in the same bathroom with me. It's just as irrational. These people are irrational, emotional, fucking idiots. They don't have enough intelligence to understand how stupid they fucking sound. It's why they don't talk about the numbers. Talking about the numbers make it sound insane. It's irrational. It's fear-mongering at its worst. And the dumb fucks that vote for these people don't sit back with any kind of critical thinking and go, well, how many trans girls are there playing sports? Just for a second. And every time I explain that to somebody, like, I don't know if I agree with trans girls playing sports. Well, how many trans girls play sports in North Carolina? I do that to every North Carolinian that's involved, Democrat or Republican. Oh, I don't know. Well, how do you assess a threat level if you don't know? They spent $200 million campaigning against trans people. For what? We're less than 0.5%. Trans women are less than 0.5% of the population. That $200 billion could have gone to anything else other than wasting it on TV ads. And this is why 19-year-old gay kids in Utah are now winning elections. What's going to happen is the further our response is, we keep running, we keep fighting. We keep pointing out as podcasters and advocates, we keep pointing out how stupid it is. We dazzle them with facts, not for their sake. Republican voters aren't going to get this. They're not going to come out of their trailer park and get a clue. They're meth labs. They're down low orgy dens. They're non-masturbating churches. You know, they're not going to put down their phone app to keep them from jerking off to come listen to this. But the independents and the Democrats need to hear this. They need to hear this because this is not a partisan issue. This is a common sense issue. This has nothing to do with whether it's important or not, because it's not. I represent 1 out of 400 women. 1 out of 400 at the top side. If there's 400 women in the room, there's 1 of me. And that's if we were all out of the closet, statistically speaking, which we all know doesn't happen. It's more like 1 out of 1,000, realistically. That's wild that they're that worried about me. They're that worried about somebody that looks like me. I'm glad I'm not threatening. I think what really is that they're attracted to us. And when Mike Johnson's masturbating but not masturbating, and his teenage son's back in Louisiana, he's up in his little apartment or house or whatever in Washington, D.C., and I think he's like the song, I Touch Myself. I touch myself. I think he does more than that. I think he Buffalo Bills himself, probably. Puts the lotion in the basket. Is he that creepy? Is it just me, or does Mike Johnson have creepy eyes? He looks like a serial killer. He looks like a stalker.
He looks like you're right. He looks like one of those creep people that it's like, well, I want you to have it's just a weird, like, yeah. I'd be afraid to be in the same room with him.
Harmon,
yeah,
and get caught masturbating in a porn theater.
Yeah,
for sure. But I don't even think it'd have to be a porn theater. I think he'd be doing it. I think he'd go see a Disney movie and be slapping the meat in the back row and get caught. He's not just reaching for the popcorn. Or hang out with his not boyfriend, or his fictional son. That little. And why do so many Republican congressmen have grown fictional sons? They all of a sudden disappear when it's pointed out. Matt Gaetz had it. Mike Johnson.
Yeah.
But at some point, Mike Johnson was like in his 20s and had like an 18-year-old son. But when he got into Congress, that boy disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, that's family. And Nestor, whatever his name is, for Matt Gaetz, he's like, we don't even know where. It's like, where's Waldo? It's where's Nestor? Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Yeah.
Where in the world is Republican men's creepy little adopted sons? They're little cabana boys. They're probably pool boys. But instead of playing with wives, they're playing with them. You know, and what you don't see Democrats in that situation. I've never seen a Democrat congressman. And if they are down low gay, they're not. The difference between Democrats and Republicans, when there is a Democrat that is gay, they're just gay. They're out of the closet, like Barty Frank, or transgender like Sarah McBride. We know how to come out of the closet. We're smart enough to know how to come out of the closet. But then again, Republicans probably can't get elected if they're gay. Even though the moron up in New York got elected for a little bit. Kind of unelected himself because, I don't know, he's a criminal. But, yeah, Mike Johnson, I think we need to start a website. Mike Johnson's creepy. Because I think anybody that has this much problems and struggles it is wife that has that weird baby fundamentalist. You know how that they kind of, the fundamentalist evangelical women do that little kind of almost a baby talk, like a submissive little. She has that. So I can see why he's masturbating and has boys around, adopted sons around. Dear God, how could you have sex with that? I'd hear that voice in there like, oh, it's over. I can't. Or it's even creepier if it turned them on. That's even worse. But obviously, him and the wifey poo are, and if you have to chronically masturbate, because obviously he has a serious issue with self-control, just like MTG is a member of a sex swingers club in Georgia. That's what broke up her marriage. But we don't talk about that because, the LGBT are the filth, right? And there's not, by the way, there's nothing filthy. If it's consensual, legal adults having sex, there's nothing wrong with sex. Let's just get that out of the way. Sex is good. Sex is fun, just like the song. I want to touch your body. Just like the late, great George Michael said. These people, it's mind-blowing. It's like, we can't have sex anymore, but we want to have babies. We want women to procreate as much as possible. We don't have to have, but we don't want to have sex. What I think Republican men and conservative men are actually saying is we want to have sex with men, but somehow we want to procreate too. We want our cake and eat it too, literally. And I just want them to come out.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's the donkey show or, you get off on getting off in a men's bathroom, and like probably Mike Johnson strikes me as the kind of guy that would go in a multi-stall bathroom and get a hold of himself and just listen to other people going to the bathroom, and that's what turns him on, allegedly. He's that kind of guy. Like he wants to get caught so bad. And he just goes in with his little trench coat on and looks around. He's hoping he's getting seen going into the stall, puts the little trench coat up on the hanger in the bathroom stall and just slowly addresses himself because, then pulls out a little pocket-sized deal of lotion and just gently, like he's humming Barry White in his own head, and he's listening to other men in there because that's what excites him. And he just wants to get caught so bad. It makes him feel dirty and excited at the same time. That's the kind of dude he is. That is exactly the kind of guy he is. Because if you have to be on a phone app, you have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
You clearly, you must, when the wind blows at the park, he's like, oh, can't even wear sweatpants because they're going all over the place.
Yeah.
Unless it's not that big, which that's a strong possibility too.
Yeah.
And he may have Trump's problem, and he doesn't have to tuck.
Yeah, that's right.
He doesn't even have enough to Buffalo Bill it and tuck it backwards. But when you think about it, and you spend the fraction of the time they spend on just saying the stupid is like, oh, when them going to the bathroom with us. And then you're probably the kind of person that's going to time it to where when you see Sarah going to the bathroom or even think that she's going to the bathroom, you're going to run out of your office real quick. Mm-hmm. Run to the bathroom door and block it and just go, oh, and play the victim and just be dramatic. These people are worse than any of the most dramatic drama drag queens I've ever met. Mm-hmm. You remember those back in the day in the club that you'll have one drag queen that'll pull their wig off, snatch it, throw it, kick off their heels during a show because they're pissed off because the DJ started the song wrong or started the wrong song. I'm not. MTG and Jenny-Jaymes are big old drag queens, big old drama drag queens. And they just act just like them. I think that's why they want to be us.
Mm-hmm.
I think they want to be us so bad that they have to hate us because they're jealous because they can't be us. And I listened to a video the other day, and it was this woman, this Democrat, and she says, what really is going to frustrate Republicans, and that's why they're trying to kumbaya now, is they realize Democrats and progressives are their safe space. We throw the best parties. We throw the drag shows. We have a good time. But most of all, they're sick and tired. At some point, they get tired of being around just conservatives. Because being around a bunch of creepy conservatives that can't masturbate, can't do this, can't do that, they find all these restrictions. They restrict themselves to the point where they get angry about it. But they did it to themselves. And so they hang out. They come in when they want to hang out with progressives. I've seen it. We've all seen it. You got friends at the bar that are that way. They really want to hang out with you because they really need you.
Exactly.
And if we shut them out of their life, and we said, never going to have another conservative in our life again. Oh, you're a conservative? You're done. A lot of us are. I have.
Yeah.
I don't talk to any conservatives that I formerly knew. I'm done. They can fuck all the way off. They don't get the privilege of soiling my life experience. They lost that right when they attacked us. The moment they attacked the Capitol, a switch flipped in my brain, and I've said about a life that is completely removed from conservatives in any shape or form for a reason. I've curated a life that is eliminating the stress of listening to these dipshits. Because they ain't going to change. But they're a minority in this country. We got to get used to being the majority and talk like this and say they're creepy, they're weird, make fun of Mike Johnson, make fun of MTG, make fun of Nancy Mace, Matt Gaetz, and all the other creepy fucks that are in the Republican Party and all the creepy pastors, and just rip them. Just rip it up. Make videos. We need to run commercials 24/7 over the next 2 years that just paints them exactly who they are. Commercial showing Mike Johnson and the masturbation app dancing around like a little phone dancing around going, he has to have his teenage boy keep him from masturbating. Is that normal? Well, fuck no, it's not. No parent in the world would ever want to ask their kid, oh, could you be my stop masturbating accountability coach? I'd look at my parents. If one of my parents asked me to do that, I'd be like, oh, fuck no. No one gives a shit. Out of the house. I don't even want to think about you touching yourself. Like, it's like, I won't be hungry. I'll lose a lot of weight. I'll develop anorexia because of that shit. No. Don't want to think about my parents or grandparents ever. No. It's just normal. Why would you do that to your kid? My kids don't want to know what I do behind closed doors. I'm like, when they get up, they're adults now, and I don't want to think about them doing it. It's normal. It's a boundary. It's a human boundary. There's certain people I don't want, not even they don't even have to be related. I don't want to think about what MTG does in the bedroom. I do need to lose weight, so if I think about it, I will not be able to eat for a long time. But that horse face, she looks like she should be running in the Kentucky Derby. But anyway, that is that is all we have for Two Queers in the Truck, and we will see next week. Thanks for hanging in there and listening to me have my therapy session online and on the air. But we love you guys. Hang in there, and happy holidays, by the way. Bye, y'all.
Bye, Boo.
Bye, Bear.
Yeah, we're good.
Hey, thank you all for watching Two Queers in the Truck. You know, it's okay to cut out conservatives. This will be a PSA for me. To you guys, this is a love letter. If you guys, several psychologists have said this week, going to Thanksgiving, if you want to cut conservative relatives out of your life, you should do so. and your peace of mind is worth it. So have a safe holiday. This is Thanksgiving week, and enjoy your turkey day or whatever you partake in. Mm-hmm. And you know what? If you want to cut conservatives out of your life, go ahead. You have my blessing. Bye, y'all. Thanks for listening.
Bye, y'all. Bye, boo.
Bye, boo.